Hi scrapbookers, Megan here with another challenge video for you today. I'm going to be using these two pictures, and the challenge for today is doing a monochromatic layout. So I think most of you know what monochromatic is. Monochromatic means just one color, and you can do different shades, but just using one color scheme. And I don't do this a lot. I like to use a bunch of different colors in my layouts. So I thought this would be a fun challenge. Here I am going to be showing you just a few of the papers and embellishments and things that I'm going to be using on this layout. I had a whole bunch of Christmas papers and embellishments that I went through a couple months ago, and I put them in this iris container, and I started to use all of the Christmas pictures from the year 2007. So I am scrapbooking Christmas pictures now, which goes with the holidays that we're in. When I started this, I think it was probably like August, maybe it was July, I don't even remember, but it was kind of weird to scrapbook Christmas pictures in August and September. And so this is fun that we're actually in the season and I'm scrapbooking Christmas pictures now. So here I'm just going through all of my Christmassy papers and pulling out ones that I think I might want to use. And I am going to use the color green in my layout. That's the color I decide to use. And so I'm just going through my papers, like I said, and pulling all of the green ones out. And I'm not going to use all of these papers, sorry. I'm not going to use all of these papers. I'm just pulling them out just so that I know what all of my options are. And I had those little, they're file folder things, little embellishment pieces, and I got those like at a thrift store for like 25 cents. And I thought those would be fun since they were green to use. So I pulled those ones out too. And here I'm going to get started with my photos and start cutting them down. And then I'm going to mat them on that green paper that has the black chevron on it. And I don't always normally start with my pictures and matting them. Usually I pick out the background paper and then I move to my pictures, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do and I just kind of felt overwhelmed with all the paper choices. So I decided to start with the pictures and figured I could go from there. And that really helped me out this time. I'm glad that I did it that way. So here I'm just matting my photos on that green paper. And so there's a fun story behind these photos. So I haven't posted all of the photos or all of the layouts from Christmas that I've done so far, but I've been doing Christmas for a few months, like I said, and these pictures, I think I did do a layout called His Camera for one of the challenges with Roni. And so these pictures are from around that same time. And I think he was 3 at the time. My 3-year-old Jonas got a camera for Christmas, and Brennan, who is 18 months in these pictures, he was so jealous. Like he was so mad that he didn't get a camera too, and that Jonas got a camera, and Jonas was having so much fun with it. So, and Jonas played with it for quite a while. When he finally gave Brennan a turn, like these are the pictures that I were taken. I didn't take them, obviously, because I'm in the pictures. My husband took these pictures. And so when he finally got a turn, he was just so happy and just so excited. So I really love these pictures. And the name I'm going to choose for this layout is going to be called My Turn. And then I'm going to have a little subtitle called, or that says, "Thank you very much." Because, I mean, that's just kind of how Brennan was just like, yeah, it needs to be my turn. Finally, it's my turn. So I cut out little oh gosh, what do you call that? A flag or tag from an L's Studio printable. And okay, so I know a lot of people call the company Ellie's Studio, and I call it L's Studio because that's what it says. If it was Ellie's, it should be IES. So I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. A lot of people pronounced it Ellie's, and I'm starting to catch on to Ellie's. And so if you know for a fact that it's called Ellie's, please tell me, because I will definitely start calling it that. But I started calling it L's Studio before I even heard people calling it Ellie's and started watching process videos. So that's why I said L's Studio. So here I am just trying to figure out what I want to do with my background. So I've matted my paper or my pictures on 2 different pattern papers. And then I put the L's Studio tag up there in the right-hand corner of that top picture with a couple of Studio Calico enamel dots. And here I'm trying to see if I want to maybe use this piece of paper to accent on the top of those photos. And so I'm going to use this Fiskars scallop punch. And this is actually one of my favorite punches. So I don't have a whole lot of punches because I have a silhouette, and I feel like I'm wasting money by buying punches if I have a silhouette. So there's a couple things that I've been wanting, a couple punches, sorry, that I've been wanting to buy though. And this scallop one is one of them because I love my silhouette to death and I love using it. But there are times when it's easier to pull out a punch than to go over to my computer, set it up, and, you know, pull out the shapes and get it all ready. And especially with little pieces of scrap paper like this that I'm using, I wouldn't be able to cut that out on the silhouette because it would just get totally messed up. And so it's easier to have punches to do things like this. Also, it's easier, like if you want to do a circle, cut out your picture in a circle, it's easier to have a circle punch than to take your picture to the silhouette and have to guess where it's going to cut out. So that's another one that I really want to buy. I do have a circle, it's a Fiskars, I don't remember what it is, but it's like a circle maker and it can make a bunch of different sizes. So that's what I have right now. Okay, so I decided to put that scalloped edge down there on the bottom picture to the left of it, and then at the top of that picture as well. So I am now just going to start accenting this page with a bunch of green elements and papers and things. So I'm thinking right now that maybe I don't want that tag there up in that right-hand corner. So I pull out this doily, which yes, I know it's not green, but I was going to spray it, and then I just decided that I was okay with it being the one thing that wasn't monochromatic on the paper or on the page. And so here I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put this other one, this other piece to the doily. And I finally decide on just putting it right there. And I'm going to put the tag on top of the doily. So I'm just going to glue down these pieces really quick. And now I am going to add some enamel dots around that area. And then I had this really, really pretty snowflake that I think I got on a gift or something from last year. I don't remember, but I had saved it because I thought it was so pretty. And so I wanted to incorporate it into this layout, but I wasn't really sure where I wanted it. So I'm going to kind of move it around a little bit. Here I am going to spray the doilies, but then I decided I didn't really want to spray them. I wanted to just add color to them. So I'm using this chartreuse color shine from Heidi Swap, and it wasn't being my friend. It didn't want to splatter on the page. So here I'm just kind of dotting it all over the doily. Oops, sorry, that was my phone. And then now I'm going to try to kind of get it all around the layout by splattering it. And it kind of works, but it kind of doesn't. And then it ends up getting all over my desk, which is not very fun. And usually I have a purple mat underneath my layout so that if this happens, it doesn't get on my desk. But it's kind of buried under a bunch of other projects that I'm doing right now as well. So I just didn't feel like pulling it out. And here I decide to use a Studio Calico color of, what is it, Mr. Huey's? Oh no, I think that's still the color Shine. So I put away the color Shine and I pull out this Mr. Huey's, and it's called Clover. And I just put it in the left-hand corner and then around the bottom and up the right of the layout. Now I'm going to fuss with this snowflake a little bit, and I like it in that area. I'm just wondering if maybe it's too overpowering on top of that picture. And here I'm just kind of cleaning up a few of the spots because I didn't want it to stain my desk. And I had this frame that was green and white chevron, and so I'm going to cut it and put it up here at the top. And I really love the way this looks. I got this kind of idea from Nicole Jones. She does this a lot in her layouts. And so I'm going to put that up there. I'm going to use my glossy accents to glue it. And now I'm trying to figure out where to put the bottom piece to that frame. And I'm going to put it right there. I'm just going to fiddle with it a little bit, trying to figure out exactly where I want to put it. And I was thinking, oh, I'll use my glossy accents and put it down. But then I was like, well, I probably want a journal right here in this little area. So I thought about maybe putting this file folder there. But then I'm like, no, that won't work. It won't be good, something good to journal on. And so I decide to pull out a piece of paper from the stack that I had and cut out a little piece to fit in between the frame. So here I'm just going to measure how much I want to cut off, and I'm just going to cut it with my scissors real quick, just so I don't have to pull out my big paper cutter. So I glue down that piece, the little cardstock piece. And there was still a little bit of that corner that was too long, so I cut that off. And then now I'm going to glue down the frame. And I'm just going to use my glossy accents once again. My dog came to visit me. Hi, Sirius. I think he feels neglected because I've been not spending enough time with him today. So now here I'm going to journal, and I was just using the journaling pen to mark where the frame was going to end. And all I'm going to say is that Brennan was very glad that Jonas let him have a turn with the camera. I wanted to make sure that I had enough room to journal, and so that's why I journaled and then put the frame down so that my hand wouldn't be all lifted up by the frame, I guess is what I meant. And here I'm going to use my glossy accents to glue down that snowflake. It has glitter all over it, and so I wasn't sure that the glossy accents would actually make it stick to the paper, and it doesn't actually stick to the paper in all of the spots that I put it. In the middle, and then I think on one of the little snowflake arms it stays, but then later on I have to pull out my glue gun for something else, and so I just decide to glue down a few other places on the snowflake. And here I'm cleaning up some stray paint mist, whatever that stuff is called, sorry, that I found on my desk. And now I am going to work on the title. So I told you I want the title to be My Turn, and I'm going to use these Heidi Swapp green, they're kind of like a pale green letter. And I love this alpha, but the only thing is that I have to search through all of the pieces to find the letters that I need. And so that isn't very fun. And I can't even remember if I have all the letters, so I'm just hoping that all the letters will be there. So I found M, Y, I, U, and an N. And I pulled out the I because I wasn't sure if I had a T. And so I thought if I don't have a T, I can just cut off the bottom of the Y and use that. And so I go through all these letters and I don't find an R. And so I was like, oh, that's great. So I did find a T, but I'm not finding an R. And so I'm thinking, well, what letter am I going to have to cut up and piece together? Because I really wanted to use this alpha. And then I found an R while I was putting them back, so that made me very happy. And so now I'm just kind of playing with the title and the placement and where I want it all to go. My first instinct was to make it go straight across the page, but the word turn was a little bit too big to fit across the page like that, so I decided to make it go diagonally. And I really like how this turns out. Here I'm pulling out some of these now and then little stickers, and they have letters, uppercase and lowercase letters, as well as some words on it. So now I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put the subtitle. And I was kind of hoping that these little alpha letter sheets would have hashtags on them so that the subtitle could be hashtag thank you very much, but they didn't have a hashtag, so I had to do without. I pulled out this green washi tape and I'm just going to stick it right there, and that is going to be the base for my subtitle. So now I'm going to pull out some wax paper and start putting the little letter stickers down. And I decide to use the lowercase for the thank you very much. But then while I'm doing it, I think, oh, hey, right here, I thought it would be cool to do a couple capital letters intermixed with the lowercase. So that's what I'm doing right now. And this is going to take a little bit. Like I said, I am just writing out thank you very much. And when I get to the end of writing much, I decide that I want to use an exclamation mark, but they don't have an exclamation mark on this sheet of stickers. So I decide to use a lowercase I, and I turned it upside down, and you can kind of tell that it's not really an exclamation mark, but I liked it anyway, so I decided just to do it. And I really love how this page turned out. I wasn't sure if I would like it because I don't know, I was just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here, and I didn't have a sketch I was going off of or a layout that I was trying to scrap lift, which is normally what I do. And so I just kind of made this up myself, and it always makes me nervous when I'm making a layout without any inspiration at all. So here I am debating whether to use the lowercase I as an exclamation mark. And I'm just trying to figure out if the very much will fit on the bottom there with the exclamation mark. And I decide that I like the way it looks, so here I'm going to put them all down. So Roni and I actually haven't talked about what our challenge is going to be next week. And I'm wondering if we're even going to have a challenge because it is going to be a busy week, and it's going to be Black Friday and everything next Friday. And so I'm thinking that maybe we won't have one. If we do, I'll try to do a video earlier in the week and let you know if we are going to, but we haven't even talked about what our challenge wants to be or, anything. So I'm thinking that we will probably take a break for the next week and then maybe pick it back up the first week in December. So here I am just messing with the title, trying to figure out how far down the page I want it to go as a diagonal. And before I did that, I was putting on some green enamel dots and also a few stickers. One that is to the left of the snowflake says brother on it. And then I will put some more on this page. So here I'm just using my glossy accents to stick down these letters. And this takes a little while. I guess I could have sped this part of the video up. I apologize that I didn't do that. I would love to hear what you guys think about the speed of my videos, because some of them I do, like the 8 times or the 4 times, and then this one I did a little bit slower. And so I'm wondering, do you like the slower speed or do you like it sped up faster and all the way, like sped up all the way? So leave a comment saying whether you like this speed or if you like my videos before this one. Usually I do it the faster pace, but I didn't want to, I wanted to try something new this time to see if you would like it. Okay, so I finished my title. And now I'm just trying to figure out, I feel like it still needs a little bit something down there in that left-hand corner. So I'm going to use that green file folder, and I pulled off the word love from the sticker sheet. But then I'm thinking, oh, it will look really plain on there without anything with it. So I pulled out the enamel dots packaging paper, and I cut off the bottom of it, and it has this really subtle pattern. I think it's chevron or just like some wavy lines or something like that. And I decided to use that as a flag banner. And as I'm putting it down, I'm like, well, wait a minute, maybe it would look cute going like this. And then I decide, no, I like it like this. And so I put it on there, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should add another banner on there as well, because just having the white one looks kind of bare. So I cut off some of this green paper, and it's a lighter green so that it will stand out a little bit more. and then I cut the flag part to it. And sometimes I can get the flag shape really, really well. And this time I actually did. And I was really proud of myself because normally I have to do it a couple times to get it to look good. So I was excited that this time it actually looked good on the very first try. So I glued that down. And now I'm thinking, okay, I can put that love there. But then I see that there's a couple other words that I might want to use, like love these and then moments. So I pick up the love and I put these down in place where the love was. And then I put love on top of these, and then moments is going to go below. And they are kind of going at a diagonal angle. And then I had this extra piece from that snowflake that had fallen off while it was in my drawer. And so I decided to put that there since there was a little bit of space. And then I'm going to put an enamel dot right next to the word love. And since the piece was so small of that snowflake, it wasn't wanting to stick with the glossy accents. So I decided to plug in my glue gun, and I'm going to use that just to glue it down to make sure that it will stay because I didn't want it to fall off. So I'm going to do that, and while I'm waiting, I pull over, or I pull out these little, oh, what are they? Like mini cupcake holders. I don't know what those are called. Cupcake liners, mini cupcake liners. I got them at Walmart. They were like $1 for like a pack of 50 or something like that. And so I thought, oh, these would be really cute to use as accents or embellishments on my scrapbooking pages for Christmas. And so I thought that it would look really cute right there in the corner, kind of give it a little bit more oomph and decoration. So I decided to put that there. And up here, I thought it, under the word turn, where the R is, I thought it looked kind of bare. So I just picked up a couple pieces of paper and glued them together and made them into triangles. And so I'm going to just glue that right there, and it gives it just a little bit more of an embellished look. Okay, so now my gun is heated up, and I am going to use it to glue this piece down, and I really like how that looks. There are a couple pieces on the snowflake, the bigger part of the snowflake, that were still kind of hanging out and weren't glued down, so I put a little bit of glue on them. It gets kind of messy and stringy, so I had to clean that up. And now I'm going to fuss with the embellishments down there in that corner. I cut this piece in half, and I'm just going to do half of it. But then I think it looks kind of funny, so I chop off the top of it, but I don't really like the way that looks either. So I turn it around to put on this side, and then it could just be down by the bottom, and it would be okay that I chop the top off. And so I'm going to fuss with this for a little bit. It takes me a while to get it to where I like it. And I'm just gluing the sides together so it'll stay. And I'm not going to put anything in there right now. I might decide to later, but since I don't really have much to say about this page, I wasn't going to really include any more journaling on it. So it's just there just in case I want to down the line in the future. But right now I'm just using it as a decoration, or as an embellishment. So now I'm just trying to figure out how I want the cupcake liners to look and trying to get them put together in a nice way. And we are almost done. I think this is about the last thing that I do with this layout is that corner down there. So I think I kind of hem and haw about it for a little bit and try to figure out what I want to do. And now I'm going to show you close-ups of all the little areas. And that is it for this page. So if you want to join in, leave a comment below and we will definitely take a look at your layout. So thanks so much for watching. Bye.